Does size really matter?
Who
Welcome
knows?
to another Late Night Girl Chat. This is Maymu of Maymu Coach at the Bold Brave Women community, and I am with Kat.
Hey, I'm Kat. I'm from Instagram page We Are On Girls. I'm a female sexuality coach and empowerer. And I'm also here with Maya.
Hey, I'm Maya. I am almost 20. I'm about to
Yeah,
hit
oh,
teenage
almost.
years.
That's right. Oh my God, it's a month away.
I know. I'm almost
Excited.
20. I'm a college student, and I am exploring my sexuality and myself.
Oh,
I love that.
yes. And you're willing to talk about it. That's great. Give us real life example and everything.
Yeah.
But first, I have to do a mommy moment, because yesterday I was walking and I walked past those bushes, the jasmine bush, and it was so fragrant. And immediately I was thrown back to the day that I brought you home on your
Oh,
birthday, the real birthday. That was when all the jasmine was blooming. I was like,
Oh,
is it May already? I smell, and I just remember that precious day that I brought you
that's so
home. So baby,
nice.
yeah,
sorry,
we
I
do
just
have
had
the
to go there.
jasmine flowers right outside. And it's always like,
Yes,
oh,
that whole
it's Maya's
wall.
birthday. They're blooming.
Yes.
That's such a nice reminder. Oh, you guys are so sweet.
I know. So okay, enough sweetness. Now let's talk about this.
Yeah, that's Let's talk about some
Was that
nasty
too blunt
shit.
of a transaction? Hi, ladies. Hi, Christine. Hi, Jules. Glad that you're joining us. I'd be fun to have Christine on these calls
Ooh,
sometimes.
yeah,
OMG.
Christine.
I don't know if I can bring her on. So up to you. Anyway, she's probably not ready, and I don't know how to bring you on, but I'll figure it out. And one day we'll have to get you on here, Christine. All right, Naya, go ahead. Tell us your story. What happened?
Okay, so today we're talking about bodies, specifically male bodies, specifically their penises, and does size really matter? That's the question here. And so far, it's sad that so far I'm thinking size kind of does matter. So here's why.
Oh,
I know, and I'm
okay.
trying to find a way around that. I'm like, that doesn't have to be true, right? Like,
Right.
I want to be able to not have that affect anything. Like, that shouldn't matter. Ugh. So, my story is I was just talking to one guy. We hung out a couple times. We got along really well. I'm not trying to date anyone, but it does matter that, you guys match and you guys get along and you like talking and hanging out, right? So we're getting along really well. He really liked me, everything. He treated me really nice, and I'm like, okay. Like, this one is a really respectable, really nice one. Like, I might want to just keep him on my shelf there in case I
In
want
the
to.
stash, in the stable of
Exactly.
all the
Just keep
men.
him
Yeah.
there. Yeah. And so, and actually, I went out with him, well, like 3 times before we were like, okay, we should have sex. And I was like, oh God. Yeah. So
Check out the
finally,
packages.
yeah, but I was like, all right, we need to do this, because if we keep going, you're gonna like fall in love with me and this is gonna be bad, and then we're gonna have sex and it's not gonna work. Like, it's just, I was nervous about that. An honest woman. And so pretty much we're like, all right, we're gonna do it. And we end up having sex. Oh God. And it was just so disappointing. Like, first of all, he was just really nervous, and it just made every single moment awkward. Like, when you're doing stuff, and like, usually when you're like, hey, like, maybe try this, or like, oh, I like it, I like this, and like, maybe not, like, you just kind of tell them what you like. Usually men are like, oh yeah, like, okay, like, that's hot, right? Like, they like it when you tell them what to do. But this one was like, oh, sorry, like, are you okay? And I'm like, what?
Okay.
Yes, I'm fine. Like, just keep going, like, whatever. And it's like, oh,
Wait,
sorry.
let's do a tip right there. Tip number one for men, whether you have big dick or small dick, it doesn't matter what size. But really, tip number one, when you're with a woman, and we love that you take care of us, that you tend to us. But when you're timid and going, are you okay? Is this good? It's so not hard. So what would be a good thing for them to do instead?
Not apologize. Like, it's not like I'm
Oh,
saying like, oh,
It's like,
ow, like I don't like that. I'm just saying, ooh, like why don't you try this? He's like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, for what?
it's
Like,
definitely difficult. It is difficult because it's like some people, they do need the reassurance, and of course consent is so
yeah,
important. And it's like you kind of still need to keep asking for consent to do different things, but yeah, it's kind of asking in a way that still seems natural, that seems like it's not like, oh my god, did I hurt you, like is
yeah,
that, how do you feel, like is that good, do you enjoy that, like maybe a different tone of voice just makes a huge difference.
or
What about
yeah.
I love Kat's accent, man. I'm just like, we're like jumping in, and then she's like, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's so sophisticated. Suddenly the conversation just got bing, sophistication. Oh
Oh my
yes, tell
god.
us more.
Ew. Do you have to ask like this?
All right. Back to your story. Go.
Okay, yeah, and okay, maybe like if he was just still into it and like still keeping it going, like it's okay, like, oh, like, do you like that? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like you can ask me that. But when he
Yeah.
pulls back and goes, are you, oh, sorry, I'm like, really? Like like,
Yeah,
I'm
never say
not
sorry.
feeling this. Yeah,
Yeah.
please stop. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
But that has
that was
nothing to
just
do
not
with
good.
size.
And
So what
that
about
doesn't have to do.
kids? Yeah.
Then it was also just like I literally couldn't feel it. I was like,
Oh, okay.
oh,
Mm.
and then I'm like, well, maybe he needs a different angle, or maybe he needs to try something different. But he was trying things, like he was really trying, and
So can we get to the size of it? Like, how big is this thing,
it
and
was.
how small is this
Well, the
thing?
thing is, I said I
Can you
couldn't
feel
feel
it?
it. It was small. I couldn't feel it, so small. I was like, is
You know,
it?
Like, is it okay? Normal size, about 6 inches,
Well,
right?
see,
Like
it
that.
was.
Yeah, like average is like 5.5, around about that. It's actually smaller than. However, I think the main issue is more how thick was it, because the thickness is the thing you feel first, right? You don't feel, oh my god, is it touching
Right.
my cervix? It's like, does it move the walls
Yeah.
of my vagina? But my question is
Double
like,
condoms.
but like,
Sorry.
if for me personally, I can get off from from being penetrated by a finger, which is this size. I've got tiny
Right.
hands. So
Yeah.
how can I get off from a finger, but then sometimes a small dick, I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
It's a mystery, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's more, I think that's when it comes down to what can they do with it, because like with a
Right.
finger, you have a lot of flexibility, you have a lot of you also have a lot of power that you can really press hard, you can like move to a lot of different angles, and I think this guy, his main issue is that he's very unconfident in bed. He's very unsure of himself and doesn't know what he's doing, and I think that's partly like he doesn't know where to go with it. If you don't have the
Yeah.
biggest stick, you have to learn to use it in the right way.
Yeah. The sad thing was, the sad thing is that, oh god, the whole time he was all like, yeah, like I'm pretty good, and I'm like, who told you that? And
Oh
that's
no,
and
that's
that's
the
when I'm like,
problem.
is it my job to tell you that actually you're not that good? Or is that
Yeah,
just not okay? You can't tell a man that. But then they think they're so good and they just walk around like, yeah, she told me I was good. So it's like, most of the time if you say you're good, you're not. Like, that's what I've found out. If you don't say
yeah, that's so
anything about
true.
having about how good you are, then you have a
Yeah.
chance of actually being good. But if you have to brag about it just to like get something, oh
Mhm.
god. Don't, like,
It's
I'm
like
like,
you're
red
making
flag,
it
red
lie to
flag.
you. And clearly
Yeah.
he's not picking up on actual signs. I'm sure you weren't making any like noises that were, showing you were into it. So he's clearly not experienced in what it sounds like and physically is like to be with somebody who's enjoying it, because if
I guess
he's deluded, it sounds like.
have you have you uh have you what am I trying to say? Did you ask him like how many partners has he had?
Mm.
I think I have. Ooh.
That might
Okay,
be a good question to ask.
I've learned that lesson also. Like now, that's one of the first questions I
Oh,
ask. I'm like,
sorry.
I'm just gonna ask you this question. What's your body count? And oh my god, that's another story. Okay, wait. This is just a quick story. So I started talking to 2 other guys at the same time, right? And like they're all like, okay, like ask me something, like ask me a question. I'm an open book, right? They go, I'm an open book, like just ask me and I'll tell you. And I'm like, okay, what's your body count? And they freak out. They're like, why do you
Yeah,
want to
that's
know?
always a
Like
bit.
that's a little early. Like no. And I'm like, why do you think we're on this app? Like we're here for a reason. Like
Why do
just
you think
tell
on this
me.
app?
Let's just get to the point.
How do you know how many people
All
you
right, all
killed?
right.
Okay.
We have to help Maya here. First of all, honey, you are different. You are different than most women, right? Most women tiptoe around these things. Like they're looking for a man to hold their hands and walk through the park and go slowly. And you are very empowered around your sexuality. Men who are watching this, that doesn't mean you hit on her or us or anything. Just a little public announcement. Just because we're talking
Yeah.
about this, we're trying to bring consciousness to this. We're not here to jerk off with you. Anyway, back to this. So you are so a lot of men are taken aback and don't really know what to do with someone who fully owns
Yeah.
her sexuality, who's not afraid of it,
It's
and
intimidating.
and so
Well, so my response to that is maybe that's a good thing. Their first reaction means, okay, so I'm not gonna be talking to you. I'm gonna move on to the next person who actually can handle it. Yeah, so like that's a good gauge for me.
You
So
don't
like,
you don't have to change. Like you don't have to change. That's absolutely true. Like, May, you're absolutely right. There's like Maya, you're a young woman and a lot of guys, especially if you're going out with guys that are around the same age as you. Because quite honestly, when I was your age, I was like, if they're my age, it's not happening. It's not happening.
I mean, yeah, they're
Even guys
usually
who were like, I was like 7 years and up, maybe. Even then, you still can't tell. Because
I was like,
my partner now is 7 years older, and when I was 20, I was always like 27 and up, because again, I was also very open about my sexuality and I was very like confident with that. And a lot of guys are not ready for that, and they get intimidated because they feel like their sexuality is caught up with the idea that they're the dominant one. And as soon as you are a little bit assertive, they're like, oh my god, they feel scared, and that makes them not perform well. Like, I mean, these guys are not necessarily bad guys. They just need to get confident in themselves, But like,
send them to cats.
No, I'm not. To my course. To my course. I thought you meant to have sex with me.
That's
No,
what
thank
I
you.
mean. No. Cat is not available. Neither one of us are available. However,
oh my god,
classes from cat.
oh my god. But it's true. I think it's the ones that are always a bit deluded. They're the worst. Because I also once had a date with a guy who had a micropenis. I didn't realize before. Anyone who is listening who doesn't know what a micropenis is like under, let's say it's under 3 inches when it's erect, and this is a good question, like, can you do something with it? And actually, there are positions that are better, like, for example, doggy style is a good position because it allows more, it's easier to go in and out. If you have a small penis and let's say you're on top or he's on top, it can come out quite easily, it can flop out if you want to get.
So wait, slow down so that we can get the visual here.
Yeah, let's say like, okay, so you've got a small penis, right? If you're going at this angle, it can come out easily, it can be like, oh, flopped out. However, if you're just going straight in, it's like, and it's small, it's easier, and there's positions that I can't do with somebody that's very large, let's say also doggy or anal, if you're into anal. Having a small dick or also a blowjob can also be much easier because it's like, like it's much smaller. I'm not saying that they're necessarily something you want to do, but you just have to get creative about it. You have to find the positions that are a little bit harder for maybe average and up, and then it becomes kind of fun actually. But he also thought I had a big vagina, and that was the reason. So he blamed it on me. So I was like, bitch.
So tip number 2, blaming each other's equipment is not it.
Yeah.
Do not You're
No.
not saying, well, it's because you're loose or it's because you're too small. Not gonna be helpful to anybody.
No,
Oh,
definitely
that's so
not.
painful. Yes, I've had that before too. It's like
Oh
you're so
God.
loose in there. I'm like, fuck you.
It's like,
Oh my
what do you
God.
want to continue having sex, or do you want to get kicked in the balls right now? Because those are
Oh,
the two
that
options.
reminds me. That
Right?
reminds
And
me.
you're okay.
One time we were trying to have sex, but it just took forever for him to find a condom, and I was like, I'm not doing it without one. And he was like,
Good
oh,
for
like I
you.
have to go find one. I'm like, hey, fine, then go find one. He had to like run out of the room 3 times. He ran to 7-Eleven to go buy a fucking condom. And by the time he came back, I'm like, I
No,
don't think
honey.
I want to anymore. Like I'm kind of, but I'm like, this
Well,
poor
tip
dude.
number
This,
three. Tip number three: always go with your own condoms.
yes, I
That is
know.
true,
Well,
actually.
there's so many things to this, right? You gotta bring your own condoms.
Yeah, Jules is right.
Because also there are some creepy thing that people do. Like I don't know why people would do this, but I've read about it. People would put a pinprick into the condom, so it's not really complete. I mean, like somehow that's a turn on.
Yeah,
Fuck,
Oh,
that's crazy.
people have some
So bring
weird
your own
kinks. Yeah,
condoms, have options, so that. And bring your
yeah,
lube too. Like, this is your sex kit. Here's my lube. Here's my condom.
yeah. That's
I'm
so
prepared.
true.
I come to play and I am responsible for my own sexuality. None of this thing of like
right.
waiting for the guy. Because in my exploration, I found that 9 out of 10 men will ditch the condom unless I have it ready for them.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's not. Yeah, and then also, I am such an advocate for the female condom. I don't know why people are afraid of it, only because they're not educated. It feels good. It's great for both sides. It's just a different thing than what they know. So
It's a little bit
have
more
the female
basic, maybe.
condoms, and they're hard to get now because they're now
Yeah.
prescription. However, your mommy
What?
thought ahead and bought 100 pack from Amazon
Oh,
before
yeah.
it went out.
Do they ever
So
go
I
off?
have it in the storage.
Oh yeah, they do
Who
actually
cares?
go
Try
off,
it
I
out.
think.
Who cares? Try it out.
Well, I
Try
mean,
it
if you're
out
not
first
using
and
it for
then pray.
pregnancy. But yeah, you are absolutely
Well,
right. You can't leave it up to a guy, quite honestly. And unfortunately, a lot of men are a little bit deluded when it comes to the size of their dick. And, if a guy is going to take his insecurity, because like if a guy has a small dick, he will probably a lot of times be insecure because that's natural, right? Like he thinks his confidence comes from his dick size. So I have empathy for him, absolutely. But like, you can do a lot with a small dick. You absolutely can. You need to be, don't take that out on the woman, and don't like shame her for it, because there's so much you can do. Like I said, if you can use a finger, why can't you make me
2
come?
fingers. You can
Absolutely.
use 2 fingers, or you
Stick
can
one
bring.
in.
If you have a small dick, bring a dildo and satisfy her,
Absolutely.
right?
There's even
And
things
then
you can attach to your dick. It's like an attachment, and it's like it makes it thicker and longer.
Do they feel anything?
So yeah, they still feel something. It's like they're fucking it from the inside, and then it's fucking you. So
Whoa.
at the end of the day, technology. Oh, I think also while we're talking about condoms, now a huge issue is a lot of guys with small dicks, also with very large dicks. They don't like using condoms because it doesn't actually fit them, and it's like
right.
if you have a lot of loose condom at the end, it rolls up a lot at the beginning, and that hurts their penis a little bit.
Aw.
So actually now you can find condoms in all different sizes, and so that really makes the experience much more enjoyable for people with penises, because if you have a condom that's like really hurting your penis, it also makes you go soft, So there are some technical issues, but now like you can find a condom with the actual specific size of your dick. You can just measure it and find it, and then it's like it's easy now, It's not hard.
I
So
show
I
up and
think
I'm
one
like,
thing
so
to make
what
a
size
difference.
are you? I got all of
Yes.
them. Tell me what size you are.
Yes, you bring a measuring kit with you.
Whip it out. Let me see it.
Bring like a briefcase of like condom
You know what?
sizes.
Again, I like the female condom because it doesn't matter what size you are,
true.
right?
Yeah.
It has an opening. It has a round plastic opening, so this stay outside of your vagina, and then it's a plastic bag. Oh, it's a plastic pouch, but so when you slide it inside your vagina, then the penis can just go in and out as if like it's a vagina wall. It's not that it's not that strange. It's actually really great. But let's grab Jewel's comment. It's like, while we're being real, let's face it, an early 20-something guy isn't going to have a clue on how to be a good lover unless he's been willing to ask and ask and ask. And not be afraid to learn being good. Lover doesn't just happen. It doesn't happen for women and it doesn't happen for men. It does require practicing and experiencing. And this is why I am not, as a mother, I don't shame my daughter. I don't say, keep your legs crossed and meet a guy and marry him and then have sex. That is the dumbest thing that a mom can say to your children, men or women. It drives me batty to hear that. I mean, we actually had someone in Maya on your side of the family, on your dad's side. No, I'm just kidding. That married their daughter because I said, why is she getting married at 18? And they actually said to me, because they wanted to have sex. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That you would put them in a lifetime sentence because they just want to have sex. Anyway.
And the sex is probably shit as well. And then they're married. You're fucked for life then. And not even fun.
Go ahead, honey.
So here's the thing about this comment. I totally agree. Like, yeah, they're only 20, whatever. Like, I'm not like you. I can't expect them to be that great, whatever. But that's where I was trying to help out and be like, hey, like, I like it when you do this, or why don't you try this? Like, and it's not like I'm being mean about it, but it's like they also need to be open to hearing the
criticism.
Not exactly criticism,
the guidance,
but like
the
feedback,
the
guidance.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what's frustrating to me. I'm like it would have gone a lot smoother, a lot better if you would just go along with like me trying to help you, and like I was trying to make it better and trying to help you understand that this works and this doesn't. Like, so, but if you can't take that, or like, then it's just bad. Then you're bad. Then it's not my fault. It's your fault.
Oh, absolutely.
You gotta figure yourself
no,
out.
there's nobody's fault. They just don't know, my love. So it sounds like you have been out there for a couple months now and experimenting, and I'm starting to detect that you're accumulating a few road wounds or battle scars. How are you doing, honey bunny? Did you need to vent or need a little love?
I'm okay. I'm just I am kind of what's the word? I'm kind of running. I'm getting dry.
Oh no.
I'm getting a little like worn out with this.
Discouraged?
Yeah.
Are you discouraged or what?
Oh, we can't hear you anymore.
Oh, did I mute you? No, what happened?
So, no, sorry. It's just someone called me real quick. Someone called me. Okay. I'm feeling like the whole dating app thing is just it's not real, and it's not really working, and it's just, I'm not finding what I want to find, and it's just like, so I'm like,
so maybe it's time to rewrite your thing. That's one of my specialty when I work with clients, to help them write a good request. See, most people, when they write the dating app thing, their profile, they write it like, I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I don't know, however they write it, but it doesn't. It's not hot, and it doesn't get them what they really need to get. So I'm curious on like, what do you put on your dating app that maybe I can help you with?
Or maybe you
need
to think
what are you looking for
first? Yeah, because maybe you don't know.
I think it's also
experimentation time, right?
I think it's also the dating app that's the issue, because like Tinder isn't really.
Well, you can find people. I found my 5-year partner
Tinder's
on Tinder,
like my generation's little.
Yeah, but you can't write it off. I'm with 5 years. I met Andres on Tinder.
I'm not looking for a 5-year partner.
Sure, but you can find almost anything. I think you have to.
So what is it how did you write your profile?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. She keeps calling me. So wait, what did you say? What did I write on my Tinder?
What do you want? What are you looking for?
What do you put on your profile that attracts these men?
Well, I don't really put like what I'm looking for exactly, because like I kind of want to be like, I'm not really looking for anything serious. I just want to have some fun, just like experience things. But I feel like guys would take that as, oh, so she just wants to fuck, like she just like the gross type, you know? And I'm like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but like not you, not that
Yeah.
way, you know? So for me, it's more just like, what do I say? Just like it's like a dating thing. It's more just like something to kind of like start a conversation. Like you have to like
I
Asian
got it.
food. First of all, feed me, and then second, it's like you got like make me laugh or something. It's just
I got
stupid.
it. I got
And
it.
then
I totally get it.
but then I'm like, well, if you smoke, then I'm not interested because that's disgusting. That's it. It's really short. It's just
Okay,
something.
so this is very classic. You know, it's like your request is vague, and so that's why
Yeah.
you're getting vague and lukewarm guys. You're drawing it to you. So I highly recommend that you rewrite that. I can
Mhm.
totally help you with that, and you would want to put something very clear. It's like, this is who I am. This is what I'm
Mhm.
looking for. I am looking for teachers who will teach me more about sexuality. I'm I'm a empowered young woman. I am not one of your sex whore, and so don't, you can delete, swipe left. But I'm looking for a really good teacher to teach me about my body, about eroticism, about sensational play, and we have design. Like we'll talk and we will design what I want to experience, what you have to offer, and it's an engagement. It's not a date, and I would still like to be taken out. We can talk about it, treat me well, blah, blah, and I would like to learn from you. So you're actually setting up a,
Mm.
um, a request form of like, what's your specialty? What can you teach a woman to feel about, to discover more about her sexuality? And if I'm interested, I will respond. So then it's a clear
Mhm.
request. You're still going to get those other crazy things, just
Yeah.
like, we still get crazy comments from men who are jerking off in the background, just seeing three women talking about sex. That's
Yeah.
erased. Who cares? Move on. But,
Block.
yeah,
Yeah.
blocked real fast. So does
You'll get
that help?
anybody,
And
you
then we
know?
can do more.
I think
Go.
maybe you might want to like write it in a way that is like I think the language you're using is great, but it's more maybe for slightly more mature people, like not mature in age. Well,
Yeah,
that might
mature
be
in
good though
age
because it
too.
might mature like in because you're like you said you're looking for a teacher, but like I would worry about saying that to a 20-year-old guy because I
That's
would
what
worry
I'm
that
thinking.
he would say that like, oh, I can be your teacher. Oh my god, I'm this like I'm sex god, and so
Yeah.
like it's like absolutely you're right, but maybe like in a wording it's like because this is
Honey,
a
that's not
test,
just a 20-year-old guy. It's 20, 30,
yeah,
40, 50, 60.
that okay, that's true. But at the end
Well,
of the day, like be forward with your intentions and then just know that it's a numbers game, like with everything. I must have went on like at some point I was going on 10 dates a week, like on Tinder,
oh my
like
god.
I was in it, I enjoyed meeting people. And right now, especially with pandemic and everything, I know Tinder has a bad name, right? But everybody is using these apps to meet people now, and it's just the way we meet people. It doesn't matter. Like the
Mhm.
majority might be just looking for casual sex, but it's just another way to meet people. And you never know. Maybe you'll meet somebody, and then you'll meet his flatmate, and he's really nice. I think you've got to be open-minded, and
Yeah.
be
Oh,
forward
this
and
is
be
a nice
conscious
tip
of your
from Jewel. She
intentions.
said, write that in your bio, be real, be direct, and then say, but if you think this is about just a random fuck, then move right on by, because you're not getting. That's exactly
Mhm.
it. You are
Yeah.
calling forth. You're energetically calling forth a few great teachers to teach you more about, to bring to the table, not to take from you, but to bring to the table to
Yeah.
enhance your experience. So that's what you're looking for. And so crafting these,
Mm.
few
So
words
my
is
question
really important.
is,
Yeah.
I think Kat kind of has a point about like, especially the 20-year-old. like maybe I should also up the age a little bit, because this is not going
Absolutely.
to
I would
happen with
not
people
do
my
20
age.
years old.
Absolutely
They won't
agree.
even
Mm.
understand what
The
that
only
means. They'll
people
just be
that
like,
can enjoy
what?
20-year-old guys are 40-year-old women, because then they can teach them. Actually, sorry, but
Yeah.
I
So,
think, honestly, I
you
think
know,
so.
everything that we learn about sex that up to now are pretty much wrong, right? They say that you should date your age. It's like, no, you should date older men, because older men can teach you and treat you well. And then people like me should date younger men because they can keep it up. So,
Absolutely. And you can teach
yeah.
them. You teach, I think it's great. Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
you have different stages, and maybe think about it like a bit like a teacher, but also somebody that's happy to learn with you. I think happy to go and to open their mind as well and open their self, because, if they think they know everything and you can't teach them anything, okay, it depends on what kind of relationship you want. Maybe that's more like a longer relationship, but
We're
I
not
think in
using the word
general,
relationship in here. She's experimenting.
yeah,
So in your
yeah,
experiment,
absolutely.
and that's what you can own it. I'm experimenting and I'm learning. And that is
Yeah.
why I'm here. Because if you want a nice boyfriend, you already had a nice boyfriend. He's great.
Yeah,
Lovely
you want
man.
something different now.
We like him.
Something
Yeah.
bit
So
adventurous, a bit of adventure in your
yeah.
life. Yeah.
It's good. All right. So I feel like we need to bring this to a close because we can go on forever. What is our last words that we want to leave with everybody? We love you all out there watching, even the creepers. I know that you're just hungry for attention and sex, but the way you're going at it's all wrong. So I don't even know how to help you. But just keep your comments to yourself. That would be very appreciated.
Yeah.
What other words? What other
Well,
things you want
I
to?
mean, I
Yeah.
thought it was fun that we had some people hanging out with us in the comments, and that really helped the conversation and
Thanks,
helped
Jules.
us.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Christine. Thanks,
Christine and Jules,
Cindy.
thank you. That was
Yeah.
really nice, because it kind of, I mean, first of all, it helped me, like, oh, okay, another voice, another perspective, and then it's also like, okay, let's talk about this, let's talk about this. So
Yeah.
it's fun when you guys are down there, saying
Yeah,
hi and
definitely.
stuff.
That's why we're doing it live, right? Because we like to hear your input
Yeah.
and go with the flow. So if there's an interesting line of conversation, we'll go with it. That's why we like doing it live. So yeah, definitely. Thanks so much for sharing and
Yay! Let's do
just going
more.
along
We do
with
this.
us.
Jules, we do this every Friday at this time, 8 at 8:20 ish Pacific time. So join us anytime. And if you ever want to jump on and be one of our guests, we are definitely available to add another screen in here, and that would be so much fun to do. What else do we want to say about this? Oh, if you are if you're young and needing some support, give me a shout because Maya is available to talk with you. If you are looking for sex education and empowerment talk and everything, please give Kat a call. She's amazing. She's developing some beautiful online courses to help you get better at sex and build your confidence and all that good stuff. So get a hold of sex. You can find get a hold of sex. Sorry, get a hold of Kat on Instagram at ungirl, UNGIRL. Is she frozen? Am I frozen?
Oh yeah, but you're right.
No,
No, you're
frozen.
good. Ungirl.
Okay, ungirl on Instagram,
Look at, she
or
froze in
even
such a
comments
cute
here.
little moment.
I know, lucky her. I froze like.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you are a mom or in your 30s all the way to 50s 60s and you're wanting to date again or you're dating again and are not finding the success or the joy in dating and not seeing what you're wanting, please give me a call. Be part of my Bold Brave Women community, and this is my expertise. I help women um, to date again and to create the love that you really want. It starts from here, of course, and it's super fun. All right, and
Yay.
I have a book on Amazon, The Divorced Mom's Guide to Dating.
It's a
The Divorced Mom's
bestseller.
Guide to Dating. Actually, it's relatable to every woman, whether you're divorced or not, or a mom or not. However, it's on Amazon. And what else? See you next Friday
Next Friday. You and
on
me?
Late Night Girl Chat. Have a
All
great
right.
day, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.